This that late shift, graveyard, pockets on E. This that praying in the driver, God, don't let me bleed. This that thumbnail, live stream, teaching about the teeth of the market while I'm fighting for my family to eat. This that knee brace, aching from the miles in the mud. This that E5 rank that I earned with my blood. This that YouTube grind when the views was a dud. Now we talking about a movement, not a maybe. This a flood. Sacrifice for the riches, that ain't just about the cash. That's about the sleep I gave up just to break a broken past. That's about the liquor I refused when I could've hit the glass. That's about the therapy I took instead of speeding off and crash.
That's the code that I live. Gave my tears, gave my time, gave my body, gave my ribs. For my wife, for my kids, for my people that I live. Ain't nobody gonna stop me, I'ma die before I quit. Sacrifice for riches, put the name on my stone. I was built for all this pressure, I ain't breaking, I'm grown. If you looking for a hero who was carved out of the stones, you can see him in the mirror when you face it on your own.
I was clocking in for bosses that ain't know my middle name. They just saw the numbers hitting, they ain't see the inner strain. Then I turn my pain to content, turn my lessons into game. Now I got a tribe of traders that refuse to play the same. Disco buzzing charts up, members learning how to move. We ain't chasing lotto tickets, we're protecting what we prove. Teaching risk, teaching patience, teaching how to keep you cool. Cause I lost enough myself to write a whole financial school. My sobriety a badge, my resilience a shield. Every L I ever took became a tool I had to wield. When the market tried to break me, I just studied how it killed. Then I built a better system, now I'm walking through the field.
Sacrifice for riches, that's the code that I live. Gave my tears, gave my time, gave my body, gave my ribs. For my wife, for my kids, for my people that I live. Ain't nobody gonna stop me, I'ma die before I quit. Sacrifice for riches, put the name on my stone. I was built for all this pressure, I ain't breaking, I'm grown. If you looking for a hero who was carved out of the stones, you can see him in the mirror when you face it on your own.
When I say sacrifice, you say for riches.
Sacrifice for riches. Sacrifice
for riches, from the trenches to the digits. When I say process, you say over profit.
Process over profit. Process
over profits, we ain't stopping till we locked it. From the runaway son to the soldier in the dirt, to the husband with a white queen fighting through the hurt, to the father of 2 daughters that he put in every verse, to the trader and the teacher helping others break the curse. I'm the sum of every scar they try to use to hold me back. I'm the voice of every kid who had to grow up in attack. I'm the proof that if you're willing to go all in on the path, you can lose a couple battles and still never lose your track.
Sacrifice for riches, that's the code that I live. Gave my tears, gave my time, gave my body, gave my ribs. For my wife, for my kids, for my people that I live. Ain't nobody gonna stop me, I'ma die before I quit. Sacrifice for riches, put the name on my stone. I was built for all this pressure, I ain't breaking, I'm grown. If you looking for a hero who was carved out of the stones, you can see him in the mirror when you face it on your own.
What up, though? Mic check 1 2 1 3. Hold up. Hold up. Am I good? Can you hear me? Can you see me? What? Make sure I'm good. Mic check 1 2 1 3. Mic check 1 2 1 3. It's your boy S4R Sacrifice Riches. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Put a 1 in the chat if you can see me. Put a fire emoji in the chat if you've been there for the plays. Getting those alerts, baby. Let's go. All right. It's been a long week. Well, let's see. Awesome. Thank you so much, Queen, for letting me know that the music is good. It's been requested that I have this video or this song going while I'm talking. All right, so all right, we got the ones in chat. All right, so let's see what we got in the building. Mr. Adam Prince, I see you, big dog. Welcome, Junior. Hopefully we got all that figured out and situated with the Megalodon tier with you. Miss Philly, I see you, Queen. New Leviathan in the building. Denise Leviathan, my mama. What up, ma? Q Anderson, I see you. Adam, let's go. Leviathan, I see you. We ready this week. Queen Bev, I see you. Believe you, Leviathan, too. Arlene, I see you, Queen. Welcome. Arlene went from gifted to member. So shout out to Arlene for joining the community. All right. Queen Denise, I see you. I think I already said your name. Let's see, who else you at? One. Roll Life, I see you, big dog. You hope everyone has a good day. Let's go. Touch that like button. Let's get it. Roll Life, Leviathan. Let's go. Billy, I see you. All right. I think we're good. I think we're all caught up. Everybody shout out to mama. Everybody shout out to my mama. We got family in the building. Today, it's a little different. A little different because your boy's playing with toys, right? I got all this technology and I'm like, you know what? I got to use it. I've experimented in the past, but I told you I was going to change it up. You know what? I want a hat on today. I want the hat on today. Y'all got to get one of these. Let's go. All right. Make sure I'm not crooked. All right, I'm good to go. All right, so I'm going to be introducing something. Hopefully I don't fumble too much. We'll see how it goes. I've used it in the past. And like I said, we'll just see how it goes. This is something that a tool I plan on using more often. I've experimented in the past. People liked it. But, you know, we'll see what happens. But we're going to go through Weatherman Rail because he's in the building, right? And then we're going to go ahead and switch over to the rapid fire chart analysis. For those that are new, my name is Darrell. I'm S4R Sacrifice for Riches. And this is the rapid fire chart analysis. What we do here is pretty much y'all flood in, right? Y'all join the streams. And if you have any ticker of interest, whether you're looking for put options, call options, whether you're looking for long-term investments, whether you're trying to match your levels with maybe my levels and just get a different perspective, that's what this is all about, okay? That way we are all set and ready to go and pretty much pre-planned for the week ahead, right? So I'm doing this because nobody else does it, right? Like, so when I came into like the YouTube environment, I said I'm only doing this if I can bring something different or fresh to the table. Otherwise, I mean, it's such a saturated type of thing that if I can't bring value, then what am I doing here, right? So I came up with this and a couple other things as it relates to options trading. If you don't know, we have the Minnows, the Dolphins, the Orcas. If you see me post a Minnow play, that's anybody that's for premiums that's under $50. Maybe a beginning trader would want trades like that. Dolphins is anything under $150. Intermediate trader, been around the block a little bit, trying to solidify their strategy. And then the Orcas, the sharks, right? Whatever, they are 200 plus, right? So maybe they understand risk management a little bit more, or they just have a bigger bag to play with, right? So that's all kind of like what I brought in. And I did that intentionally. Why? Because I've noticed that as people grow in this market, like traders become millionaires, too often I think we forget about the little guy, right? The people that are fresh to the scene trying to like figure things out. And we get so far removed from those individuals because, you know, they grew, right? Their audience is different. Their audience has grown with them likely. So I came up with this concept so I could maintain the concept or the idea of the little guy in mind, right? So we have the Minnows, we have the Dolphins, we have the Orcas. That is lined up so it never can be forgotten. And therefore, those that are trickling into this game trying to learn aren't forgotten either, right? So that's what that's all about, okay? So now we got the rapid fire chart analysis and we've been getting busy, right? These have been amazing setups. You guys have been catching some absolute home runs, grand slams. You think about it, whatever, knocking it out of the park. Y'all have seen me hit 600%. Y'all seen me hit 1,000% on a move before, right? But pretty often, your boy's getting a home run, which is 100% plus. And guess what? I'm not eating alone. This is not what it's about. It's not about bragging or anything like that. Because just so you know, I do make mistakes. I do lose, right? However, when I give a play or when I'm in the play, 9 times out of 10, I've shared the information for said play, or I've provided an alert of some sort so other people can have the opportunity to do their own due diligence and decide whether or not they want to hop in the trade as well. So I'm never eating alone, right? I'm in KGU as a crown trader. If you don't know what KGU is, that is Keenan Grace's University, where pretty much it's a Discord full of traders, right? I'm a crown trader there, pretty much like a professor, right? And I am joined by several other crown traders that are millionaires in the game or been around long enough to know a lot about a lot, right? So we have our platform, we have people that we connect with, we share game all the time, we live trade, we do live training, all of that stuff, right? Along with Keenan Grace, right? And then on the flip side, I'm a smaller like community, right? We have people that kind of just gravitates towards my style a little bit as far as the swing trading aspect, but then also my simplistic approach to the game, right? So we have a small community that was requested by the people, right? YouTube was pushed by my peers. The Discord was pushed by the peers in the community, and pretty much everything that I've done and everything that this is was 100% community driven, right? So here we are. We have a small group, and if you guys are interested in joining, becoming a member, whatever, go ahead. And there's like a money sign down there or a plus sign, and I think from there you're able to then just become members. I highly recommend you find a home, right? I don't care if it's in my Discord. I don't care if it's in KGU. I don't care if it's Chris Sane or Traveling Trader or Stocks with Josh or Larry and Mo. You know, the list goes on as far as who you can kind of like join, right? So the moral of the story is just find a home, because nobody should be going at this alone, right? It's a lonely game, and not a lot of our inner circles are doing what we're doing. So I'm pleading to you to find a home, right? And get integrated, right? And just find your people, okay? Because it's a really hard, long fought road, and it's really easy to quit, right? And if you're amongst peers that are either struggling or that's been in your shoes, that's been doing what you've done or what you're doing or going through, it's easier, right? Because they're there to kind of help lift you up, right? Help support and elevate you, help be a voice of reason, help like just reading your comments and providing you some type of guidance of what has worked or not worked for them, right? So don't do this alone. That's all I'm saying. The last piece I want to say, I'm not a millionaire. I have not made it to where I want to be, but those are due to my own constraints, and a lot of it's personal. So it is what it is. I will never pretend to be somebody I'm not, and that's what it is, all right? So join me if you like. We love to have you, and that's my spiel, right? I'm a little nervous about this one because it's like I don't want to fumble anything, but we're going to see how it goes. All right, let's see who came into the building. Let's make sure the lights are up. I'm in the outfield dropping the ball. Okay. Hey, Denise, you're in the outfield dropping the ball, but as long as you pick that ball up and slang it to first, you're good to go. Or the short, you know. It's all good, Queen. The ball has to get picked up. You just don't stare at it when you fumble it, right? So it's okay. I love you too, Ma. You know, I be talking, and sometimes you might think I got a script or something. I don't know. Like, I have no plan sometimes, and I just talk. And a lot of it's just from the heart. So it is what it is. and sometimes it hits. But the main thing is, as long as it resonates and or the key points are pulled from what I'm trying to say, that's what's important. So how can I be notified when you share your alerts? Barton, that is a Megalodon exclusive. So if you are a Megalodon member, then that is in the rapid fire alert channel. Okay, that's where you get those alerts. All right, 17 likes and 32 people in the chat. I'm not moving forward until we can get the likes up, and that's okay, right? And you can feel how you want to feel about what I just said, but at the end of the day, YouTube pays pennies, right? And I'm doing what I can to provide knowledge and information based on my own experiences. And I feel like I have the formula to be a millionaire. Why? Because I've watched somebody, aka Keenan and other YouTubers, go from from not rags to riches, but from what they were doing on their day-to-day to multimillionaires, right? I've seen that, but I also know what I'm doing as it relates to the trading game, right? So, like I said, I'm not a millionaire, but if somebody told me that they're gonna give me $1 million worth of game and all I had to do was press a button, I guarantee you I'm pressing that button every time. So do me a solid. It costs you nothing to press the like button. So please do that, and then we can get rolling. Okay? How we start the show off, I review the trades, right? And I give you the breakdown of my thought process, right? And then from there, we go into the rapid fire chart analysis. So I'm going to go ahead and share with you that right now. And just give me a moment as I get things kind of situated. So APMX, we talked about last week. That shows 54%, but technically that was over 100% move if you caught the alert on time, right? On the flip side, I think I exited that play with, I want to say 80%, okay? So it's not always great, right? I might be like kind of light in a position like you see here on the Netflix play, but sometimes I'm heavy. Sometimes I'm a little heavier, like this Netflix play. And I get a little bit more of the bag, right? So I'm just kind of showing you what happened. Now, full transparency, Netflix ate my lunch money, right? I do well with Netflix typically, but it definitely it got me, right? So on a trade. Now that trade, it was like a 30% loss, but I was pretty heavy in that position before we reversed. Actually, that was silver, but kind of the same thing happened with Netflix. So it is what it is. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about Apple today. We're talking about Apple and how we got 141% move on Apple. And then as you can see, if you put this in a sequence, this is a call option, right? This is another call option. You can see the timestamps, right? You can see the timestamps, and then you can go ahead and see that we flipped the script and then we moved to put options. So I'm going to show you, right, how we did that, right? So this is a little off. I do have another put option that I, because I'm seeing the call option after the put option. So that's kind of weird. I think I just grabbed this one on retracement, but there was another one too, but I didn't screenshot it. But anyway, that's that. I'm going to go ahead and then I'm going to get rid of all of these and then we're going to keep it moving. Okay, group selected. So put a fire emoji in the chat if you ate off of any of the plays, whether it was Netflix, Apple, or APMX. Let me know. All right, so who we got? Deezy. What up? Shout out to Deezy for being a new Megalodon. Everybody shout out to Deezy. Deezy, to join the Discord, all you have to do is go ahead and go into the members tab on YouTube, and then there should be a Discord link, right? And then from there, you know, you join, we welcome you with open arms, right? But we'll cross that bridge. Following this stream, I'll add the link just in case the old one has expired. So just bear with me for a little bit. Okay, so how many likes we got? Hawk smash that like button. I love it, Junior. 21 likes. Come on, get them up. All right, because I know we kind of you're like, where's the music? But hold up. Okay. 28 likes. Okay. I can deal with 28 likes. All right, everybody. For those that don't know, your boy transforms into who? Weatherman Rail. Name given to me by the community. Weatherman Rail, where I tell you the weather. I'm gonna tell you how the storm rolled in, right? And how we caught the wave and knocked it out of the park, right? So, without further ado, we're gonna flip over to Weatherman Rail, and then we're gonna talk about Apple, and then from there we're gonna go into the breakdown of the rapid fire chart analysis, and then we're gonna head over to the charts for the rapid fire chart analysis. Any questions, y'all let me know. But all right, let's see what we got. So first, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna flip my screen. All right, so we got our screen, we got our backdrop, right? So now we straight. Okay. All right. Oh man. Hopefully this one goes smooth, y'all. Hopefully it goes smooth. Hold up. I gotta put my phone on do not disturb because it is blowing up right now. I must have missed it. No, you didn't. No, you. Our rep. You right on time. Because Weatherman Rail. He here. He here. You right on time. All right. Don't worry. Forecast. Right on time. Guess what I got in my hand? I got a tablet. I got a tablet because your boy's about to get busy. All right, hold up. Mic check 1 2 1 3. You probably had a double feed for a little bit. Is there still an echo? Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Is the echo still there? Put a 1 in the chat if I'm free and clear.
There's an echo.
Yeah, but is it still right now? I need to know if it's still echoing.
No.
No echo. All right. Thanks, baby.
Yep.
Yeah, I had 2 mics on. Let's go. No, but I hear mic transfer. Hold up. All right. Tell me what's going on. I can't hear you. So, I mean, I can't hear me. But if I'm good to go, I'm going to get going. All right. We all good? We all good. All right. So, without further ado, this is Weatherman Rail. Reporting live. All right. So, as you already know, we knocked it out of the park with Apple. And I'm about to tell you how we did. Okay. So, for those that know me and know my charts, you know that my charts are pretty consistent. You'll see a high, which is identified with a red line, a low identified with a white line, and then a dashed blue line that represents a crossing point, represents a shift in bias. All right. So what we got? Which way should I go? I'm gonna go right here. All right. So right here, you see, I have reported right here that we have a bias shift. So pretty much, Apple had an increase in volume, and then we crossed this point right here. However, that signal went off, right? So the alert went off in where we call the rapid fire channel within the Discord. So for those that got in at this point, shout out to you, right? However, right, I missed it. I was busy, no telling what I was doing. but I did see the trigger in my notifications. So what did I do? I kind of waited, right? I started off right here, and I grabbed one contract on my first entry. Why? Because I was so far away from my desired entry point. I just didn't want to go too heavy. However, do understand that I put take profit targets on my charts, and that is represented typically by a green or yellow line. So that's my green line for take profit target. It hit it. Now from here, I'm looking at value at the bottom, right? And trying to identify if we have an increase in buying volume or a decrease of volume as the seller step in, right? So let me make sure I'm looking at this correct. So sorry, I'm getting used to this, but seller stepping in, right? I see this, but I also see that the volume is not really matching, right? So it's not signaling a reversal for me. So what do? Right? I had my entry one. Okay? I'll put a heart on that, right? And then and then we have entry two, right? I entered here, right? Because I know that this pattern right here, that pattern represents a pause in a direction. And typically it follows a reversal. It's about a 65 to 7% chance, but that tells me that this is just a retracement. Sorry, I'm in the way. This is just a retracement, not a reversal signal. Okay? Right? So that's what I'm paying attention to. So we get that, and I see volume starting to increase. Okay? But so because of those signals, as we are approaching my entry or my take profit target, right, that green line, I see the volume pump up, so I decide to add to my position with what? Let me just do that again. Add to my position with this time 3 contracts, right? 3 contracts. I'm loading up. I had one, and then I got a signal that justified me entering in heavy, right? I didn't go heavy the first time because my desired entry was down here at 273.59, okay? So that all happened. So I added the position, okay? So we breach my level, right? So we then breach my my take profit target with bullish value, okay? All that signaled me to then go ahead and do what? Add another 3 contracts, right? That's what we do, right? That's what we do. Listen to that song, Process Over Profits, right? Right? It tells you, right? If the opportunity is there, then go heavier. If the risk seems too heavy, then lighten it up, right? You have to pay attention to where you are. So we rode that wave. Where? Pretty much to this line right here, okay? Now, this dotted red line, I think I found it on the weekly, the daily. I can't remember exactly, but I did identify it as a point of interest because I want to say it was a strong rejection at this point historically in the back, right? In the past. So I just tagged it and made sure that I was aware of it as we approached it because I may want to think about exiting before I get to my actual take profit target, which is at 278.69. So what do? So once we got up to this level, right, I see a doji, right? Hold on, let me do that again. I see a doji, right? I see a doji, and then not only do I see a doji, I see an increase in selling pressure. So this is a sign for me that, man, it's probably about to turn around. And Real is not trying to lose his gains. Not on this one. Not on Apple, right? So what do? We took this opportunity to set a stop loss. We set a stop loss. The stop loss was triggered. And then this is how I got my take profit target of 144%, right, on that move, right? I put my phone down. I stopped looking at it. And I just walked away. Now, I did understand that up here was another potential entry for calls or puts depends on how we approach the level. But we're going to talk about it because we did flip our bias. I took a 5 to 15 minute break, whatever it was, and just looked away. Because traditionally, if I get into a play and then I hop back in, like, and I'm still like looking to trade, that next trade is a loser. So I wanted to make sure that I protected my gains. I took a mental like check, right? Got off of the charts and moved on with my day. Then I doubled back, right? We doubled back to see what price did, right, up here. So look, we were nice and sunny over here. Stock was going up. Things looked crazy. Volume was there. Man, it was perfect for calls. So shout out to y'all if y'all ate on that. Okay? So now we get this right here. This right here. This is called an evening star. Okay, let me make sure I can. I'm sorry if like I put too many graphics on there, so I'll clean that up. But it's a doji candle at the top of an uptrend, right? So we look at that and then we pay attention to see how price reacts from that candle, because oftentimes that represents a bearish reversal when you're in an uptrend. And likewise to the bottom, to the downside, it can represent a bullish reversal, and that's called a morning star. Okay, so those are the price action candlesticks that we're looking for to figure out what we're doing. So sure enough, right, we have a shift. Sorry, my bad. Wrong way. We have a shift, a short signal. Okay, that's what I'm calling it. Right, so we already took profits and now we have a signal for short. But with this signal, you have to make sure that you're waiting for confirmation to the downside. What's confirmation? Well, one, we're still in this technical uptrend, right? We're still here, right? So we have to be very careful. Now we can say that from here to here, right, we have our what do you call it, higher highs and higher lows, right? So we have our uptrend, right? We have a higher low right here, higher low right here, right? But then you draw that line and we cross down. So that's a second confirmation, right, that we could be coming on down, right? So at the end of the day, when you get one of these signals, when you get a signal like this at a key level, you're pretty much like on the next candle. If it closes red, then you're entering the position, and then your stop loss is pretty much right above that doji candle. Not financial advice or suggestion for you to do any of this, but I'm just letting you know what I'm looking for when I'm trading. All right, so from here, hold on. How do we want to do this? All right, here you go, Real. So from here, this already happened. So what am I doing? I missed this, but that's okay because I know that we had some bullishness that happened. I missed. Oh, hold up. Get me off the. Hold up. Give me a minute, y'all. I gotta correct my camera. Come over here, and then let's do this, and then let's do this. All right. So essentially, I missed this, which is fine, right? But I'm paying attention, and I notice that as price is coming down, we're also getting an increase in volume, right? Two things are happening, right? It's letting us know that this has some legs, right? The bears are stepping in and they're stepping up. That's what I see right here, right? So this all happens. So now I'm just waiting for the retracement gain because I don't want to catch the middle of this move. So we get retracement right here, right? The point, but this is not a price action that tells me that we're reversing, right? This is just a signal of a retracement. Why? Because at the same time, we're not getting any type of volume towards the upside during this retracement. So that tells me that it's not a signal of a reversal. Okay, so we're up, right? We're up, and I'm paying attention here, right? I'm starting to see top wicks. Let me just clean that up. I'm starting to see top wicks, red bars come in, all that good stuff, all the things that's representative of a good pullback, right? Like the sellers are stepping in. I'm seeing thinning of candles. I'm seeing more wicks than body, right? These are things and signals that I'm looking for on this retracement to signal rail to say, hey, it's time to hop in these shorts now. You might have missed it up here, You might have missed it up here, but you ain't about to miss it down here, right? We're not doing that, right? We see an opportunity and we seize that. So we got in right there, right? This was, hold on. This was an entry one for one contract. Now, I've already sized up right here. I sized up and I got the bag. I'm not trying to risk the bag. There's no need for me to even trade anymore. I technically should just put the dang phone down and not take another trade. However, when my brain like is wanting to trade, then guess what? Just reduce, size low. It's all good. Take another trade. And if you take an L, then boom, you took an L. But I like to try to remember not to risk more than 7 to 10% of my gains on the day in the next trade, because I don't have to trade anymore. But just to get the itch, I still have to be very cognizant of what I'm doing and paying attention to make sure that I'm not just throwing money into the market and paying the market makers, right? So this happened, right? So we got in on contract one. Sorry. Right? And then we came on down. And then I exit and I took my 84%. Now, what was my signal here? Well, as price was going down, right? As price was coming down, volume was kind of dying on the seller side. And then we get this hammer at the bottom of this trend, put a heart on that, right? And then we see volume to match, right? We see volume to match. So volume goes up on this reversal signal, right? On this reversal signal. Now, it's not necessarily a reversal of the trend overall, but it was enough for me to say, I'm good. I'm not overstaying my welcome, because this was a 0 DTE on Apple. If you guys didn't know, some of these Mag 7 stocks are now able to be traded like on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday or something like that. So you can do 0 DTEs on these now, given the day, right? Or 1 DT or 2 DT. And what does that mean? The shorter that contract, right? The more reward you have, because the less time you have. So if you can get a big move on a 0 DTE, that's a home run, right? That's what we're looking at. So that was it. That was my take profit here, right? My take profit here at 84%. And I'm glad we did it, because you already see what happened. We came on up. We actually ran up to retest this level before we just crashed down with the rest of the market, okay? So I had another opportunity to enter, but I did not reset my levels or my alerts. So I did not get the next signal for me to go ahead and hop into another trade. Now, do you have any questions? This is Weatherman Real reporting live, and hopefully it all makes sense. Put a fire emoji if you learned something, or put a fire emoji in there if this was informative in any fashion and you want me to continue doing things like this. All right, that is it. Bam! Weatherman Real out. You know what? We should just call that a day. I don't even need to do the rapid fire analysis. All right, let's go here. Let's switch this back. Let's mic check 1 2 1 3. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Let's go. I was actually nervous about that, y'all. Like, real talk. Because like you're doing multiple things now. You're holding a tablet, you're trying to draw, you're trying to line it up with what you see on the screen. This is stressful. That was almost as stressful as live trading. Now, I want y'all to know, Leviathan members, you're gonna start seeing more breakdowns like that, but through like replays and things like that, and sometimes live trading. We'll see how this all goes, but I do plan to utilize more tools to help, because at the end of the day, you have to learn reading, visuals, right? So if I can throw in the visual aspect, right, then maybe that'll help things like stick a little bit better, okay? So, but I was demoing it here. I don't know if I'm going to do that every Weatherman Rail type, but I wanted to test it out here, which was, like I said, nerve-wracking before Sunday when we all meet up. So, am I going to be live for KGU tomorrow? To be determined. I got a lot going on. This week has been absolutely insane for me. So, absolutely insane. All right. Any questions? I appreciate the fire emojis in the chat. Let me know that this is resonating with some of you at least. Ms. Narrow Path, I know you a member, so you must be logged in under a different. Oh, Ms. Narrow Path, did you get gifted a membership and your gifted membership expired? Let me know. I mean, if that's the case, come on now, get back in the community. Because there's an audit that happens. There's like a purging that happens within the Discord. So if your membership isn't live, then you're gonna get kicked out of the Discord. That's just kind of how like the system works. So we love you being loved. S4R is the way. Let's go, Matt. Let's go. All right, let me replenish my drink. And then we're going to go ahead. We're going to get into the rapid fire chart analysis. I see 40 people. And if there's 40 people, let's make sure we got 40 likes, please. I appreciate it. I need to take a little water break. And then we're going to get into the rapid fire chart analysis. I'm going to explain what the instructions are, so we're all on the same page for those that are new and have not been a part of this before. Alright, 1 minute to 5. The one that you, yeah, so yes, for entry, I'm looking probably around the 5-minute time frame on ideally. However, when you get close to your levels, I start looking incrementally, and sometimes it gets me smoked. Like, I'm not gonna lie. That was a 45-second that you seen. I love the 45-second time frame, but it does get me in trouble sometimes, especially if I'm trading futures. So, like, you got to kind of be in and out on futures if you're trading those second time frames or whatever. But it does give you some incremental data, and allows you to kind of sync up with like what's going on near key levels that you're looking to use as a potential entry or exit point. All right, there we go. I'm good with the likes. Okay, so let's talk about it. All right, so we're about to move over to the charts. But before we do, I got to let y'all know how this works. This is, hold on. I feel like I'm a little washed out, but that's okay. Hold on, let me, hold on, I got to get rid of something. Okay, I was KGU. I'm about to join with you. I need one teacher. Too many voices gets distracting. I'm still struggling real, honestly. No diss to KGU. I like the way you teach. Hey, Ms. Nero, I'll tell you this. No disrespect. I appreciate you saying that, but I'll tell you, like, real talk. If Keenan Grace was reading that message, it would be no problems, right? Because at the end of the day, like the name of the game is like learning, right? And not everything is for everybody, and that's just the way it is. I think KG himself will much rather you be somewhere, right, that resonates with you, because he would much rather want to see you win than you be like in the community, you know, like in feeling overwhelmed or whatever, right? So it's all love, Queen. It's all love. So, but yeah, but just to be clear, for those that are in KGU, I want to tell you, like, and Queen, to you as well. I know it's noisy, but at some point, like, you really there's so much value and resources there. You kind of gotta learn to filter out what doesn't really matter to you, because I mean, you just have more going on. So you gravitate to who you resonate with, and that's me. I appreciate that, Queen. Yes, I do a lot more on my side of the line because I can spam all day. I can't spam in KGU, and that's kind of like the only thing that's tough. But it would be OC. It would be 100% out of control if I was sending the exact same messages from my Discord to KG. Like, it would be not good, right? Because it's just too noisy. So to your point, I get that. But if you are KGU, I would never recommend leaving that to join me, right? That's not a formula that I would recommend. However, I do understand, and if you can do both, then great, right? But you can learn from both, right? And at the end of the day, too, hey, today's prices ain't yesterday's prices. So if you grandfathered into some stuff, be careful with your moves because things change real quick, all right? But yes, we would love to have you, Queen. So please go ahead and consider becoming a Megalodon because that's the best value. I'm going to put a link in the comments for the Discord or for the YouTube member. Okay. See agreements. Okay. And one last thing on this before I get into the rapid fire. If it's tough, for instance, like somebody is looking to, like they want to join, but they're in another Discord and it's like hard to afford both, blah, 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 then do understand this. Like I've worked it out and I'm almost done. But essentially I'm providing Discord access to anybody that who joins the app, right? So the minnows and above within the app can join the community, but you also have to remember that doesn't mean that you're going to get like access to everything, right? But it is associated with your tier, okay? And if you go ahead and you join the app, you won't get like pause. If you like join the app as a Megalodon, you will have Megalodon access within the Discord. However, you will not have Megalodon access within YouTube, right? So there are two separate things. My app is a tool, and YouTube is the platform that I use to visually teach and connect with the community, right? So they're completely different things. So you can do both. A lot of people do both. But that is an avenue of approach if somebody's looking to enter the Sacrifice for Riches Discord and they kind of have some constraints or limitations because of an existing Discord that they're in, right? But to that point too, try to not be in every freaking Discord. I think if you have 3 Discords, that might be a little too insane. If you're a learning, growing trader, not advice, but I can only imagine how insane that would be to be in 3 different people's Discords and you have all of these different ways or approaches to the game. Like you think that that's helpful, but in reality, that just confuses everything, right? Because everything can contradict everything, right? So that being said, let me get off of that. And let's see, let me read the comments and then we're going to get into the rapid fire chart analysis. Zom swing. Okay, I'm not there yet, big dog. Okay. All right, top tier is Megalodon and then the add-on is Leviathan, but I got to close that off because we have too many people joining Leviathan right now. So the top tier is Megalodon and Megalodon. Megalodon in the app, Megalodon with the YouTube. The Megalodon with the app gives you full access to all the app's features, but I'll go into I've been on here long enough. I have to move to the rapid fire. So how this works, everybody, if you're new here and you've not been part of the rapid fire chart analysis, essentially I already told you how it works. I bring up the charts. I look to the comments. The moment I say go, we start. I will not look at tickers prior to me saying go. I always set a timer, right? And the timer is typically for about 20 to 25 minutes, okay? So right here, I start the timer, I say go, and we get rolling. I sometimes start off a little slow, but then we pick it up. We knocked that out of the park with, I don't know, close to 20 plus tickers last week, and that was a time, right? So we're gonna do that. What I ask is that if you provide a ticker, please provide some context. You can keep it very simple. You can say, like, for instance, if you're looking at Apple, you can say AAPL looking for put options, right? Or you can say I'm in a position trying to figure this out. Or you can say I'm looking to be looking for some buying shares or long-term investing, right? Any of that stuff. So I would do my best to kind of give you some feedback, right? And again, nothing here is a suggestion for you to buy, hold, or sell. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm working on it on my IRA right now. But until then, none of it, right? You take this with a grain of salt and you make sure you do your own due diligence. Now, the only other thing to add is that when I start this, those names that are in green, you have priority. So I will look for those names first because they are members of the community, right? So they take priority for the tickers. The next up is KGU. If you're a KGU member, then I need you to put a hashtag KGU in the chat with your ticker so I know that you're KGU. KGU is home for me and y'all family. So we gonna treat y'all like family, right? So you also get priority. The only other thing that can kind of jump over that is super chat. So you can use the super chat function if you need your ticker or whatever to stand out. I do my best to get to everybody. However, I'm only human and I'm one person. So, and it's been a long week and a long day. Your boy is hard, but regardless. All right. So if there's no questions, then it's time to get busy. All right. So let me swing over to the chat, the charts. Nope, not that one. All right, we're on the right one. Okay. Mic check 1 2 1 3. Can you hear me and can you see me? Is there music? Let me know. Hold on, there's probably no music on that one. Hold up. Hold up. Nope. All right, is the music too loud? Let me know. Man, is the music too loud or is it just right? Okay, yes to the music. Is it too loud or is it just right? I'm just taking a look at futures quick. All right, do I need to turn the music down? What's good, Boomy? Okay, so y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. Okay, what's super low? Boomy's like, play that music, real. Man, Harlan, you missed the rapid fire chart analysis. Hey, give it up to Miss Nero for being the newest excuse me, the newest Megalodon. Welcome, Queen. All right, shout out to you. Please make sure, regardless of the fact, download the app and at the very least get the free version. Okay, but there's options there that you can see and select as well. The Discord link should be in the members tab. If it's not, DM me. I'll send it to you. No problem. Okay. Okay. I'm in an Nvidia put option DTE, $170 straight. Okay, hold on. I'm not ready yet, Junior. Junior, calm down, Junior. Hold up. All right. So we're good. I think we're good. All right, so. All right, I think that should be loud enough. Okay. So, everybody, this is the rapid fire chart analysis. All right, go. Let's get it. What we got? First ticker. What we got? I only look at tickers after I say go, so bring it. All right, no, rep, you're good. BE. Hold on, no. Junior said something. I'll go back, man, if I can see it. Junior hit me up like a couple. Oh, he retracted his message. All right, so BE, Bloom Energy. Okay, so let's take a look at it. Come on now. I'm supposed to be ready. All right, Bloom Energy. So this is from, who is this? R Prep. All right, big dog, I see you. All right, so, all right, let's see what we got going on here. So overall, obviously, we're bullish. However, we did kind of die off in some volume towards the upside. I want you to see my QVP, right? QVP, there's no, like, sellers really up here. They're starting to step in, and traditionally, this means that it's just a healthy pullback. And it's going to be a continuation. However, there is a moment in time to which sellers can take over, and this is an early signal. But as of right now, we have a fair amount of absorption happening here and still aggressive buyers, and essentially the sellers are just trying to step in, but they're not yet in control. So one thing I noticed is that we do have right here on the weekly, we have a supply zone, right? And we would love to see supply zone. We would love to see the supply zone act more like a quote unquote demand zone, like a level of support. So too often is when we establish the supply and we break through, we have a false breakout, first of all, but we come down and we typically retest the base of this supply zone, which here is going to be 122.72. So if we can slow down the bearish momentum to this level and then start and see a price action that's going to represent a bullish reversal, then this thing could take off. However, if this breaks below the supply zone, then you're looking for a retracement and a rejection at the supply zone, because then that's going to indicate to you that we're coming on down to where likely we're just going to come down and retest this 21-day EMA, because we are flaring up and there all signs are pointing towards a continuation of a bullish move. So we're going to move on from this and then go on to the next one. Harlem, welcome back, big dog. When'd you leave? All right. Harlem was a member and then he left and now he's back. He's like, I'm alive. I'm dead. I'm alive again. That's what he said. All right. What we got next? Everybody shout out to Harlem. All right. Dean says FCX looking for levels to enter for a call supply demand to verify my levels. So FCX is Freeport-McMoRan. What are these tickers? Right. We're looking at. Okay, so I'm going to tell you right now, Queen, you can just look at this and you can tell that there is a gravitational pull that's probably going to happen between this level. Okay, so at 51.78, hold on, let me clean this up. Hold up. Right, at 51.78 or 51.93, we have to pay attention to this level. I do see us coming down to retest this level before we see more upside, okay? Why do I say that? Well, a couple of things. One, we had some bullish momentum kind of die off a little bit, and we have bearish momentum kind of stepping in with some aggressive sellers stepping in as well. So this is telling me that a major retracement is coming in. So be careful here, because this level, if we can't hold it, then it's going to be a choppy road all the way down to this level here at 43.61. All right. So now the thing that we have going on for us is that there is a fair amount of absorption, but you have to understand that there's sellers here too. So this is a very neutral area. And if I were to draw a volume profile right now, I'm guarantee you that this is pretty much the point of control overall at $40.56. And everything's kind of trying to pull back to this level. So boom, right? So we're at $38 on that piece, right? $38 is the POC. So either way, this is the area of interest. So we fall back into this, then we're back into a range, a trading range. Okay. So trading range, meaning you already know how this works. So we have our high, right? I'm going to give you the levels, right? And we have our low, right? We have our low, right? And so we have this range to which we would then play this position. All right. So as far as supply and demand stuff goes, I mean, pretty much this level is the top of your supply zone for this zone. Okay. There's no demand zone quite yet. Now you can treat this as both a supply and demand, but we need to see what price does as we approach this level. Do we bounce? Do we fall through? Pay attention to this level, queen, and then all your answers should be there for you. I will even go ahead and set an alert, and you being a Megalodon, you're going to get an alert when I get the alert. So let's move on. Next up is, my mouth is dry. Roll Life says WRD, entry for swing options, WRD. This is Weide Inc. sponsored ADR. Okay. All right. So let's check them out. I mean, when you're looking to do what? Swing options. Well, this is right now looking not great, but there's some light here. Okay. So right now, price is actually accepted here, right? This is a range play. Pretty easy. We do have buyers stepping in, which is an early signal of of a potential turnaround. And then we did have quite a bit of volume here on this reversal signal. So this is demand, right? Let's see. This is demand. So right now we're trying to see how price is reacting here. We're below the 21-day EMA. We are still in sell-off mode, just so you know. But we need to pretty much confirm above this line at $7.46 before we can even get bullish. Not only that, I know that you studied the QVP with me and been doing your own research. You also need to see an increase or influx of buyers to absorb all of the selling pressure that's still to come, right? So we're not out of the woods here. This is pretty this is pretty much what I just said. All right, so there's not much for me to add to this. So this is kind of how I would look at it, and I would just get rid of this QVP so you can see it a little closer. I would have my zone, and then this would kind of be my trading zone here. My trading zone for this would be from 940 of a high to 747 on the low, right? And then you know how it goes. You know how at this point you understand supply and demand. All right, so what do we got? Queen Fee says SBUX. This is Starbucks. Starbucks probably sold off, right? Starbucks is holding on. All right, this is surprising. So Starbucks is actually in a really interesting position right now. Okay, why? Because we actually see this ready to break out. Starbucks is about to have an absolute major move. So shout out to you, Queen, for putting us on game on this right now, because I see. Do you see what I see? Do you see what I see? Let's see here. Yeah, there we go. So this is my base. That's my high. So what do we have? We have a old school symmetrical triangle, right? So right now we have lower highs and higher lows, right? So which is forming a neutral position. If you draw a volume profile right here, it's probably right in the middle to where the point of control is. Close to, right? It's near top, but you have a high volume node right there in the middle too. So anyway, I wouldn't trade off of the PLC on this one because it's just a pretty massive range, and there's buyers and sellers all over the place, right? So I literally would be looking for a breakout to the upside and downside, with take profit targets being the top and bottom of these zones. So if we break out and we confirm above this descending line of resistance, then we're looking for a take profit target of 120.87, right? If we fall below, right, then we're looking for a take profit target of 62.15. There is a professional way to trade this, but we're going to get into that in our private streams. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next one. This is BBAI. Okay, Josh, BBAI. This is Big Bear. I haven't heard this name in a long time, but we already covered this stock, right? So essentially, we had our supply zone, and on multiple occasions, we failed to break through, right? So this right here is showing you that, hey, buyers tried to step in and walk into the supplier's house and out the back door, and the supplier said, get the heck out of my house. They got out the 12 gauge and blew them back down, right? And essentially, it's been bearish, right? We've seen this. It's been bearish. So we knew this was bearish. Not only, one is a supply zone. That's one of the giveaways. Two, we have an increase in selling volume, right? So, and then we had this symmetrical triangle, right? The symmetrical triangle, we were waiting for the breakout, and that breakout happened here at $5.52. Once we broke below this level, then we were on our way down to, we're not yet at target, just so you know. Our target for this would be about $3.84 on BBAI. So around this level, I'd be paying attention to see if volume continues to lower, and then watch for price action candles to give you a signal for reversal. Now, a couple of things, right? We see the 21-day EMA still planting up. We see the 200-day EMA still flaring up, right? So this will get filled. Something needs to happen, but as of right now, we are still bearish until something different happens, right? And at this point, if we fall through that take profit target of $3.84, then we're falling to this demand zone here at about, what is this? $3. All right. So moving on from BBAI to ORCL, put options brought to us by Barton. All right, Oracle. Now, if y'all don't know, Oracle was like pretty much the front runner for TikTok, right? I believe that they got the deal to buy TikTok, and allegedly, supposedly, nobody's trying to get sued. That's a KGU line, and essentially, like, what I've heard is that people have been getting filtered, right? Or suppressed. Like, freedom of speech doesn't exist on TikTok, apparently. I don't know, but that was a sign for me to say, hey, this is probably a pretty bearish situation, and it doesn't look like we're slowing down anytime soon, right? Because we have an increase in selling pressure, and we're crossing the 200-day EMA. So, and this is on the weekly, right? So as of right now with Oracle, man, what a sell-off from 317 to 136. That is nasty. And there's no sign right now of it slowing down. So at the very least, right now, I would probably say that we are sitting at about a floor of 128.31. Okay, that is where I would see us potentially turning around. But again, it's nasty. So just so you know, the play on this is that if we confirm below, right? If we can confirm below, then, man, this is going back to the gutter, right? But if we can bounce here, then we can probably see a nice retracement to the upside, and we can get a bag. All right, so I'm gonna put an alert here on Oracle, and I'll remember to tap in on this later, and then I'll set up the alerts with the details as far as like the entries, the exits, the take profit targets that I'm looking for, and that's gonna come to you guys within the Discord. Okay, if you're KGU, this might be one of the plays that I might actually share with the community as well. I can only share so much though, so just know that. Who we got? Nvidia by Junior, NVDA. Junior says Nvidia put 170 strike DTE of 211. All right, so of course we talked about Nvidia. We made plenty money on Nvidia, and this has been an Orca play on several occasions. So we've come down and now finally hit our demand zone on Nvidia. We drew this up. We identified our supply and we identified our demand. And essentially what we also identified is that we have something called a double distribution type of like volume profile. So it's not surprising that once we broke our 185 demand zone, it's on a shorter time frame that we were going down. But our key level was at 183.47. I set an alert, big time alert. This hit in the Discord, I guarantee you. And this is what I said to you, everybody, right? This is where we check our bias on Nvidia. If we hold above, we're bullish. If we confirm below, we're bearish, right? Think leap options, and this is an opportunity to load up on shares if we hold. So I gave the community this exact breakdown, right? On put options, the entry was 183.47. And then we would take this to a max take profit target of 153.95. We are not there yet, right? We are not there yet. I don't know. Oh, and that is the base of my trading zone. So essentially what I'm telling you right now is if Nvidia, this is insane, but if Nvidia continues to break, to have selling pressure through demand, this is going to be nasty because this is supposed to be an aggressive demand zone. It's supposed to have a hard bounce here and then back up. But if that's not happening, then we need to pay attention to 168.17 and then for the retracement. And then we need to pay attention to the bottom of the demand zone of 164.10. At this level, we might fall through and then we could ricochet back through the demand zone. We have to really pay attention to volume at this point, right? But if we don't, if we don't have the volume to match as we come back into demand, then we likely will see a continuation down to 153.95. Now, I do need to go ahead and set an alert here. I'm surprised. I'd be surprised if one is not already here. Hold on, let me check real quick. Real quick. NVDA. Let's go say 172. Yes, I already have one. So this is another trigger that hit today, right? I told everybody, right, that we are entering the demand zone. And because I teach this, I didn't put a lot of context. I just wanted to make sure that the alert hit. So this did trigger. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save, and I'm going to reactivate this alert. And then we're going to pay attention to see what happens. Okay. And then I do have another alert that will get triggered for the Megalodons here. So this alert is going to trigger at 169.21, and I gave you your targets for calls, and I gave you I didn't give you a target for puts, so I got some work to do. All right, but I can't do everything. I try. Anyway, moving on. Hopefully that was helpful. There was a lot of information there on Nvidia. SoFi shares coming back. All right, SoFi, man, y'all know I love my SoFi. And shout out to everybody who got in when I was talking about it when it was at $4, right? So I said that SoFi would likely fall to 1857, which I think it technically did. Yep, it did. It hit 1857. And now, look, how on point is my levels, right? Level 1 was 1979. And people like seen this this sell off or sell through and thought it was sweet and got into shorts. But the retest happened right at my level, and then we sold off to continue towards 1857. Now, I don't want SoFi to fall down further than this, but if it does, hey, I'm here for it, because then that means that we're back to about $13.66. All right, so what am I telling you? I am telling you that if SoFi falls and confirms below 1857, that there is a chance for us to fall all the way down to 1366. But we can't just go there, right? We can't just go there. We have to stop right here and make a real decision on SoFi here at $16.71. So I want to make sure that y'all have the levels before they happen, and I'm going to go ahead and put an alert on that, and then I'll get back to it later. Okay, so but I'm also going to put an alert right below this level, so we are triggered when that time comes at 1366. It's probably something I already did in the past, but let's see. 13 going once, going twice. So to the man with the brazen tear. Nope, don't got that. So I have some work to do on SoFi, and we'll get busy. All right, so moving on. Oh, for shares, either we A, confirm above 1979, or B, we see a strong reversal signal at 1366. I highly doubt SoFi falls back down to $8. That would be insane. But I will 100% be paying attention to volume and momentum back through this level right here, because that is telling me that it's time to load the boat on some leap call options. And I've been talking about that for a while now. All right, so let's see what else we got. Again, shout out to Harlem for hitting that Megalodon and joining the community. Let's see here. All right, so we got Billy from KGU. Shout out to KGU on DocuSign. What do we got here? So, whew, sheesh. All right, let's zoom out. Let's take a look. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised at this point because the market is just bloody, right? I almost brought out my torch just to add a little fire to the fire effect to the stream, but yeah, I'm too tired and I didn't want to set my set on fire. So, man, okay. So essentially with DocuSign, y'all, like we are like, hold up, this range is insane. Okay, so man, you fell into a trading zone on DocuSign, and now we're playing highs and lows. Okay, we're in highs and low camp right now with DocuSign. You're high at 65, you're low at 38, and yes, it is very likely or plausible for us to fall all the way to 13 or 38.14, right? So hold up, let me just make sure I'm seeing what I'm seeing. 43. Put a fire emoji in the chat if you think that this is being helpful so far. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to go ahead and put a demand zone on this. Right? So just understand though that this zone is before this level. So what am I showing you here? I am saying that for DocuSign, if we fall to this demand zone, which likely is going to happen, right, at 43.99, if we don't bounce and we sell through, then I would be looking for it to fall through this, right, retrace, retest, and then probably come down and retest 38.14 before it rockets back up. Okay, that's kind of how I see this happening. The other way is that we either hit the bottom of this demand zone and then take off, or we hit the bottom, we come back to retest the top, and then we just sell through. So we have to be careful with this. Your 2 points of entry with DocuSign is a strong bounce off of 43.99. B, right, if you want to play a range, then you can grab it at the bottom of the demand zone at 41.94. Okay, but your stop loss, right? Your stop loss is if we break at all below this demand zone. Okay, so the most opportunistic entry points is a strong bounce at here, right? A strong bounce here, and if you can't get one here, then we're waiting till we fall to 38.14 before we enter a position. I will put an alert on that as well, right? I got a lot of homework to do. Y'all got me cooking. All right, what else we got? All right, if you are a subscriber and your name is gray and I didn't see you, I'm sorry, but I would highly recommend you use the tools to your advantage, aka use a super chat or become a member, right? So you can be heard. I do my best. Lyft, ticker symbol LYFT, brought to you by Queen Rochella. She's looking for calls and pick up some shares on the downside. All right, well, Lyft then fell off. Somebody left a comment on my Lyft short video and said that we're well below $19. Well, yeah, the video was made a week ago, right, or so, and I was speaking from a perspective of us trading within the supply zone at $18. I called this play. I said that if we broke below $19, then we were likely to fall down to retest this descending line of previous resistance, now potential support here at $15.53. Will that happen? I have no idea. Hold on, let me zoom in. We're already through that. So we likely can come on down a little bit more. Lyft has earnings on February 10th, so next week, right? So we don't have long to wait before we find out what's going on with Lyft. All right, so but if I zoom out from this perspective, right, I mean, I guess you're technically in a little bit of an uptrend. I don't know if I like it in that regard, so I'm not going to put it in that category. You see this, right? You see this ascending. I'm sorry, no, it's not a pennant. You see the symmetrical triangle. So if we fall back below or into this triangle system and we fail to break out, then likely we're going to come down and retest the bottom of this symmetrical triangle, which is going to put you around $12.92 or $12. Okay, hold up. All right, that's time, but I will try my best to get through a few more. Okay, so but here's the thing: if we fall into this level, take profit targets truly is the top and bottom of the symmetrical system. So the bottom of this system is $8.96. So that's the maximum point to which this could fall, in my opinion. And then the next thing is the absolute floor, which is $7.86. So, man, I don't like it. I'm going to tell you, I don't like it. And I feel like I want to spend more time on Lyft, but at the end of the day, the play was at $19. The play was at $19 and we called it. So if you want to pick up shares, then we're not there yet. We're not there yet. Okay. I know we're at $15. I don't know how I feel about Lyft for a long-term hold, but I am more confident in hopping into calls or shares if we can retake 19, or if I can see a very strong bullish reversal where we are right now, or more so nearing the bottom. If we can fall back down to here, then okay, why not? Risk is lower when it's lower. Okay. Had to find a good one. Got alerts today. Yeah, you did find a new one. All right, KGU. This is Kente. He's looking at Under Armour, ticker symbol UA. All right, so this typically doesn't move very much, right? Yeah, this is, I like Under Armour, right? And I thought it was gonna like absolute take off when The Rock kind of came in and did all that stuff, but it really just stayed flat between $5 and $10. So right now we're back at the base here of that range of $5.84. So essentially, if you're looking at Under Armour right now, you really need confirmation above this level here at $5.84, and we don't have it just yet. We do. The cool thing is we do have an increase in selling or buying volume. So as prices going up, volume's going up. So I can see this being more bullish, but just be careful. One, we're trading between a 20-day and a 200-day EMA, right? We don't really like to trade in between these indicators, right? But I am more bullish than bearish. And essentially, if I were to hop into a play here, then I could do it, and then my stop loss would be confirmation below $5.84. Okay, all right, moving on. I'm trying to clean up as much as I can because the timer did stop, y'all. This is overtime for real, and like I said, YouTube pays me pennies. So there is a super chat button. And there's no shame in my game. All right. Hi, just joined. Did we review Netflix? Nope. But you just said it, so I'm gonna do it, Queen. So Netflix, by Queen Angela. Right. So we've talked about Netflix. We know about Netflix. I got cooked on Netflix on a play. I did make it back up, but the Discord. Let me. So this is before what we did, and what happened recently, right? So today is the 5th. Today the day I got cooked. Probably. Today was probably the day I got cooked. Yep. I think I told the Discord today I got cooked on this play initially. So what happened? Well, Netflix, we fell below a demand zone, but then we have bullish momentum into the demand zone. So I'm loving this out the gate, right? Then we get a bottom wick right at the demand zone with the increase in buying volume. So that was my signal for potential call options on this play. Now I alerted the Discord, right, through a rapid fire, right? Because you see the message, you have the call situation, right? I gave you the entry, the exit, and the take profit targets. So we all got alerted. Now I notified everybody when I got the contract, and when I got the contract, I was down 5%. So people had plenty of time to hop in, because then it did run up about 20 to 30% here, right? Unfortunately, so what happened was I was on my way out the door, right? And then so my phone is down and my stop loss is supposed to be triggered, right? But in my mind, this is an alert that consistently goes off every time it's hit. I want to know. So that happened. I didn't hear it. And then I ended up being in this position where I had to then decide if I'm going to hold and wait for confirmation below, or, pretty much, or just cut my position altogether. Now, not even in hindsight, the moment that we cracked this demand zone, assuming that I'm very accurate in my my technical analysis, I should have 100% cut my position, but I didn't, and I got smoked for it. But what did I do? I did pause, right? I turned my brain off, right? And I just looked away, and then I waited for my moment. So I did not hop in right away here, but I did pay attention to, actually I paid attention here, right? To see how price was reacting as we approached, after we broke this level and approached this level, right? So I did catch this retracement here, and I don't know if I caught the second leg or not. I can't remember, but I do know we kind of made up for some of the losses on Netflix. Wasn't all of it, because I was heavier on this than I was coming to the downside. But where are we going right now? Well, we have a price, a take profit target right now of $80.39, to which we hit, and now we're bouncing again. So now what do we need to do? Well, Netflix overall is neutral. I need you to understand that the VWAP is flat, right? So this is right now is pretty much range bound in between these levels, and you have like a triple distribution here, right, where it's pretty much playing ping pong between these high volume nodes. So from here, if we pretty much confirm above $80.90, then we're probably gonna head to retest 81.79 and then do another fake pump into demand and get kicked out again. So I mean, just look at the range here, okay? So not bearish necessarily, but they are definitely playing with my emotions, Netflix, right? And I typically do very well with Netflix, but it kind of cooked me a couple times so far. But we have higher lows right here, which is a good sign. But let me zoom out to take another quick gander, and then let's see if I can catch in a couple more tickers. Okay, so and there's a little bit of a demand here too, right? Which I don't want to draw, because then it's just gonna trip me up. But because this is a passive zone, and passive zones, just not good. All right, so as of right now, listen, hold on, I'm sorry, I'm losing steam, y'all. I'm losing steam. Okay, so as of right now, we actually got a pattern going on here. Now that I zoom out, we have a descending triangle, right? And this is typically a setup for a bullish move. Okay, so here's the pattern, right? And now we're coming back up to retest 81.79. So that's what I see happening right there. And then likely we'll come back and retest this one more time before we take off, right? So that's kind of how I can see Netflix moving. The next, not this run up, but if we hit this 81.79 and pull back, the next run up, I can see us actually breaking through demand to retest the top of demand. All right, so we're gonna leave it at that, and let's see what we got next. Man, I'm tired. Name of the volume profile indicator is, I don't know. Hold up. Anchored volume profile. Okay, Miss Narrow, the newest megalodon in the building. Got to make sure we take care of her. All right, she said PFE. All right, so this is Pfizer. This is the Mr. COVID company. So essentially, I mean, I drew one line, and that's all the line I need. Essentially, at 2656 is our do or die level for me, right? So essentially, if we can't confirm above this level, then we're bearish, right? That's just kind of how I'm seeing it right now. And I really don't want to put much more real estate into this than what I just said. This was a previous level of potential demand, but clearly it was not respected. So yeah. All right, so this is what you need to look out for if you're looking to play Pfizer. I don't know if you're looking for long-term leaps or whatever, but essentially you're gonna need bullish momentum through this demand zone for us to, and then we need to retake 2666. If we can get above this level and confirm, or start to see bullish momentum through, great, right? But just be careful, because essentially as we come down, we are losing steam with the sellers. But again, is a retracement. As of right now, this does look like a nice hammer at the bottom of a trend, but we need a confirmation. We need a confirmation. And if I zoom in on the 15-minute, this does not look like any type of reversal signal I've ever seen. So I'm not really sold on this just yet, Queen. And I would just trade carefully as of right now. Okay, you are Megalodon, so just do know that one of your perks is we have an elite channel, and then you can request for charts to be broken down for you, not verbally, but I would work the charts and then give you the levels. But I don't do that all the time. Please don't abuse that thing, right? That perk. Okay, my wife says I'm gonna have to pull the wife card and restrict your torch of. Yep. All right, so last one is gonna be for Junior. All right, Junior says Zom, he's looking for shares, right? And why not, right? Why not? Oil ain't going nowhere. Oil is not going anywhere. So we right now are in something called a megaphone pattern, essentially. With this, we are in a megaphone pattern. Okay. So essentially, like, just be careful. I mean, because essentially hold on, what did I do? We're playing highs and lows of these levels, and as of right now, this looks like we have retracement, and then we actually could sell off to continue to hit this descending or ascending line of support right here. And I mean, I can see us hitting this level closer to about 141-ish, okay? But if you don't want to play the megaphone pattern and you want something a little bit more concrete, then you can just play the range, right? So if I go ahead and enter here, right, and then enter want to enter here, right? This will be me playing my highs and lows on said play. Now, I don't see any clear-cut signs of demand or supply. Now, of course, they're here, but they're not, in my opinion, defined enough for me to want to play them. So this right here is not attractive to me. We are above the 21-day EMA, and maybe that's what we play. Maybe you're playing the high or the bounce here, but just be careful, because if we break, right, then we're floating in between, and look out below. And honestly, I do feel like this is too big of a gap on the 15-minute, and it's probably going to tighten up. So at some point, you're going to start seeing like these level out, and it'll be a tighter range. Like, so the 200-day might catch up, right? And then they'll flatten out, and then you'll see more of like a bullish or bearish move following that. If I zoom out to the, let's say the 4 hour, yeah, so the 4 hour actually gives us a little bit more of an indication here. Okay, so we have demand here, and then we also have our 21-day EMA, right? So we are getting too far away from this. So this tells me that there's a likelihood that we could be pulling back. Couple signals right here, y'all. We are probably going to be bearish on Zom. Signal 1 is the fact that we hit a ceiling. Signal 2 is the fact that we are far away from our EMA. Signal 3 is the fact that my VWAP is flattening out. Typically, when you see these things happen, we are likely to sell off. And honestly, I'm going to set an alert right below this wick. And this isn't like a strong confirmation wick or anything like that, but it is a trigger for me to take a look and see if there's a potential for a downside move to a 143 at the minimum. All right, let's see what we got. Awesome. Thank you. My pleasure. My mom says, good night, son. Good night, everybody. Have a blessed night. Good night, mom. All right. Love you. So that is the rapid fire chart analysis. I went over my time, right? But let's talk about it. We went over XOM, Exxon Mobil, PFE, Pfizer, Netflix, Under Armour, Lyft, DocuSign, SoFi, Nvidia, Oracle Corporations, BigBear.ai, Starbucks, WeRide, Freeport, Bloom Energy Corporation, Apple, right? We touched on it all. So shout out to everybody for contributing. We absolutely knocked it out of the park, I think, today. And if you found value in what I just did here and you want to see more, please like, subscribe, and then also share it with somebody, because I don't do a lot of public lives, right? A lot of what I do is behind the scenes with members of KGU and members of Sacrifice for Riches. So it's my own thing, my own kind of reasoning for not like my YouTube not really exploding, but that's not what I'm about. I'm never going to be the guy that's going to be blowing up your feeds and just posting videos just to post videos. I'm the SoFi guy. I could post SoFi stuff all the time, but that's just not who I am. It needs to be 100% pertinent information for me to want to step in and step up and talk about said stock. And once I say what I got to say, I move on. I'm not in the business of repeating myself when things are recorded. So I think that's kind of one of my downfalls, or, you know, not downfalls, but one of my issues as it relates to this YouTube thing, because I'm not chasing the algos. I'm doing what I can with what I do. But I gotta stay true to who I am as a person, and now as a content creator, right? Hey, Boomy, I appreciate that super chat, big dog. Hey, Nancy Pelosi recently picked VST. All right, I'll look into it. Hit me up in the Discord if you want me to dive into that a little bit more. Okay, any questions? Oh man, that was. If y'all not a member of Sacrifice for Riches, right? Get with it. Come on now. Now, this is not about joining the community for plays. Like, having trade alerts is a perk, but a community, by definition, right? It is a group of people that supports and elevates one another, right? That is what we're doing. We are all like-minded. We all have similar goals, and we all want to see each other win. There's no nonsense in this Discord. We don't play these games. We don't belittle people. We don't joke around with people's problems, because people got real life problems around here. We are humble, and we about business. At the end of the day, we inspire, we uplift, we support, we elevate, we learn, we grow, we trade, we win. That's what we do. And Sacrifice for Riches, and that's what I'm about. And that's why we are close knit. That is why I have not done anything to blow up YouTube, because I don't want knuckleheads. And they're starting to come in through the comments, man. I already see it. The more this channel grows, the more the knuckleheads come and say some outlandish stuff. Like, come on now. Like, look, y'all gonna see some short videos that are cut from these live streams, right? You might not see it until after a move already happened. You might not see it till next Tuesday or Wednesday. That doesn't mean that my analysis was wrong. That doesn't mean that anything's inaccurate, right? It just means that you weren't present when we were initially talking about the business, right? And I can't control that. So if that's you or whatever, I'd appreciate if you not have a smart comment about it, and just try to respect that I'm trying to help, right? And nothing more. At the end of the day, I volunteer my time, my energy, and all that stuff just to pour into people, because I love doing it. Frankly, I love to do it. So hopefully that keeps the knuckleheads away. But I mean, I know you're out there, but man, just don't be trolls, man. Just be here to learn, grow, and keep it moving. All right, like, I don't got time for BS, man. Like, I hate it. All right, and just wanted to shout out to Darrell. He brings everything he has left for you guys on live. Working his butt off at his 9 to 5, then and building and being present for his community and his family. I appreciate you, babe. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that nobody sees but my wife, right? And I'm a one-man army, and I'm trying my best. So, thank you, babe. All right, that is all I got, y'all. I need to go spend some time with my kids for whatever little time we have left before they have to go to bed. This is S4R Sacrifice for Riches. Thank y'all for being here. Shout out to y'all. I will see y'all in the next one. Take care.
This that late shift, graveyard, pockets on E. This that praying in the driver, God, don't let me bleed. This that thumbnail, live stream, teaching about the teeth of the market while I'm fighting for my family to eat. This that knee brace, aching from the miles in the mud. This that E5 rank that I earned with my blood. This that YouTube grind when the views was a dud. Now we talking about a movement, not a maybe. This a flood. Sacrifice for the riches, that ain't just about the cash. That's about the sleep I gave up just to break a broken past. That's about the liquor I refused when I could've hit the glass. That's about the therapy I took instead of speeding off and crash.
That's the code that I live. Gave my tears, gave my time, gave my body, gave my ribs. For my wife, for my kids, for my people that I live. Ain't nobody gonna stop me, I'ma die before I quit. Sacrifice for riches, put the name on my stone. I was built for all this pressure, I ain't breaking, I'm grown. If you looking for a hero who was carved out of the stones, you can see him in the mirror when you face it on your own.
I was clocking in for bosses that ain't know my middle name. They just saw the numbers hitting, they ain't see the inner strain. Then I turn my pain to content, turn my lessons into game. Now I got a tribe of traders that refuse to play the same. Disco buzzing charts up, members learning how to move. We ain't chasing lotto tickets, we're protecting what we prove. Teaching risk, teaching patience, teaching how to keep you cool. Cause I lost enough myself to write a whole financial school. My sobriety a badge, my resilience a shield. Every L I ever took became a tool I had to wield. When the market tried to break me, I just studied how it killed. Then I built a better system, now I'm walking through the field.
Sacrifice for riches, that's the code that I live. Gave my tears, gave my time, gave my body, gave my ribs. For my wife, for my kids, my people that I live. Ain't nobody gonna stop me, I'ma die before I quit. Sacrifice for riches, put the name on my stone. I was built for all this pressure, I ain't breaking, now I'm grown. If you looking for a hero who was carved out of the stone, you can see him in the mirror when you face it on your own.
When I say sacrifice, you say for riches.
Sacrifice for riches. Sacrifice
For riches from the trenches to the digits. When I say process, you say over profit.
process over profit. Process
Over profits, we ain't stopping till we locked it. From the runaway son to the soldier in the dirt, to the husband with a white queen fighting through the hurt, to the father of 2 daughters that he put in every verse, to the trader and the teacher helping others break the curse. I'm the sum of every scar they tried to use to hold me back. I'm the voice of every kid who had to grow up in attack. I'm the proof that if you're willing to go all in on the path, you can lose a couple battles and still never lose your track.
Sacrifice for riches, that's the code that I live. Gave my tears, gave my time, gave my body, gave my ribs. For my wife, for my kids, for my people that I live. Ain't nobody gonna stop me, I'ma die before I quit. Sacrifice for riches, put the name on my stone. I was built for all this pressure, I ain't breaking, now I'm grown. If you looking for a hero who was carved out of the stones, you can see him in the mirror when you face it on your